And so speaking of turn on with men, when a man deeply loves you, what are some of the things that he will start saying, right? I hear women say all the time, just sort of the shortcut, how do I know? What does he start saying? What are some indications, green flags
Okay,
that
so
he's
that's a really, really good issue there. And the issue is, how do I know? Well, there was an old song in the 60s, it's in his kiss. First of all, there needs to be a kiss. Sometimes there can be, you're dating and you need to put those lips up close to him like that to give him the opportunity, the message. And men are so much on their female side, which is afraid of rejection, that that they don't even get the clue. Why she's getting so close to me, or flirting used to be so easy. Now it's not. The guys are just on their male side. You just look at them and you're flirting. And the guys more on their female side, she's looking at you like, is it, what's wrong with me? How do I look today? So we have a big challenge here with all this, without a doubt. But how do you know he loves you, cares about you, is interested? You ask him to do things and he does it. And he often does things without you asking, which, by the way, is a romantic myth that if a man loves you, he will do the things you want without you having to ask. Because men just don't know what women need. You have to let go of that idea. And they say, but that's what makes me feel so romantic. No, that's romantic because it's acknowledging that you're special. Once you get beyond the idea that because men and women are different, we don't really know. But if you ask us and we do it, that means you're special. You see, if you ask and he does it, then you're special. Because if you're not special, you ask, he doesn't do it. And so what you want to do is build up his confidence and his motivation to do more and more for you, until his motivation is to basically kneel before you and say, I want to marry you and give you everything. and never going to be with anybody else. And you're the number one priority in my life. That's special. That's the foundation of great sex, which is why, again, I tell people monogamy is what allows you to grow in love and sex. Because people often go, well, the passion goes away, you need other partners. Yeah, because you don't have the skills to continue communicating to her that she's special, and she doesn't have the skills to give him the opportunity to do things for her that makes her feel special, as opposed to having unrealistic expectations that he should know. So the idea of I love you is something, again, a big need that women have to learn about themselves, men have to learn about women. And that is the need for reassurance. Is one of my primary needs that I write about in my books that women require. And they don't always know what we need. I mean, think about people who are overweight. They think they need to eat all this junk food. They don't know what they need. They need to eat more vegetables and meat or whatever, not that. So we don't always know what we need. I mean, I think we do, we don't feel what we need. And so what I help women is to get to the direction of what do you really need? And what you need is reassurance. And men have to learn that you need reassurance. And men need a different kind of reassurance. But what women need is the reassurance that he loves you. And so, if you were to say to most men, honey, do you love me? He's, well, I'm married to you. What are you talking about? As opposed to recognizing, do you love me? Yes, honey, I love you so much. And sometimes it's scary for a woman to say, do you love me? Because men will say that. Of course I love you. Why are you asking? I'm not doing this and this and this. Why would I do that for you? We don't understand that there's a need for reassurance. So from my side as a man, 4 times a day, I'll say, I love you, or give a hug, show affection, unsolicited hugs. It's such a simple thing to do. I wake up, I look for my wife, let me give you a hug, honey. I love you so much. Boom, done. Reassurance. Now I'm going to leave me for work now. Just, well, where are you? Let me give you a hug. And those little things keep giving reassurance that she's special, because when a woman looks in the mirror and goes, I'm not perfect, she loses it. So words, kind behaviors, attentiveness, these are things that allow her to come back to remembering who she is, in a sense, that I am special, I'm worthy of love, I am good enough, I'm safe, he is there for me. And when women don't feel safe that he's there for him, that's a painful feeling. It's a lie to feel that. So it's painful. So to avoid the pain, what she'll do is seek to earn love and to justify needing love. Say, oh, I'm going to go do this, and therefore you should love me. You should love me. See what I did for you? Now you should love me. As opposed to just feeling I'm lovable and he loves me. But it doesn't last. It's like a good mood doesn't always last. An orgasm doesn't always last. It's there and it's gone. It needs to be again and again and again. Which is why, I teach classes on sex. One of the classes at marsvenus.com is Secrets of Great Sex. Because for me, an orgasm a week is so essential to come back to experiencing the union that we felt in the beginning. And ironically, again, is a big subject, but it's too much sex will actually take that away. Like if you eat too much, food's no longer enjoyable. You always feel I need to eat more and more. It's not good enough. So you get addicted to sex. Sex should be biologically, I'll just throw this in. This is proven for men. Sex desire has to do with testosterone levels, right? Motivation to have sex with your partner. If you have low testosterone, you tend to be motivated to have sex with a stranger. That's why it's called addiction to porn, which decreases your ability to want sex with your partner. This is so interesting. Even some people to have sex with their partner, they have to pretend they're somebody else. Fantasy, as opposed to actually being turned on to your partner. Say that you want that. But if you do sex too much, then you lose that ability to be turned on to your partner. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. So this is measured and measurable in man's physiology. If he ejaculates in sex, and waits 6 days before he ejaculates in sex again, on the 7th day, his testosterone becomes like a young man. It goes 50% higher. And then it goes back to his baseline, gradually, slowly goes, and then it comes back to 50%, just like you were when you fell in love. So you get that re-experience. Who doesn't want to reignite those feelings you had in the beginning? Well, first you have to have mental intimacy, emotional intimacy, but you got to bring it to the physical level. And once a week is the recipe for lasting passion. Now, when you get older, more wise, then you can learn more advanced sex, but I'm not going to talk about that now. But that's where I have sex every day because I don't ejaculate. Men can be multi-orgasmic just like women. And if a man can't be multi-orgasmic, it's hard for a woman to be multi-orgasmic as well. But women have much easier time if they feel love, and men have to learn certain techniques that I teach so that you basically you're ready to go anytime and you have no addiction to the pleasure of sex, because pleasure is always this, the soul will go, oh, that feels good. But what feels even better is pleasure opens the door to feel love. But what I can share at this for all men listening, sex, the reason men, and this is helpful for women too, why men want sex so much is because it's through sex. Nobody has resistance to feeling pleasure. So when this is the most pleasurable part of the body. So when you hold that, just like if I hold my wife, that's very pleasurable for her. She holds that one part of me. That's very pleasurable to me. So we're built to have more pleasure sensors there. So when he feels that pleasure, what's also happening, he's now getting in touch with what he feels. So pleasure is just a doorway to get in touch with, what do I feel about this person I'm with? And I love them. I care about them. They're important to me. I devote myself to them. That's where a man can find his heart. So just like women want to feel love, men need sex to find that love. And when women understand that, then they realize sex is not this dirty thing. It can be if it's just for pleasure itself. It'd be just like I'm drinking alcohol and take cocaine. These are all things that throw away your life force, as opposed to feeling something to open your heart to someone.
Oh, beautiful. I could talk to you so much more, Dr. John Gray. So what's the best way for the women to get a hold of you here, either on YouTube or of course on your website?
Well, the best way is go right to marsvenus.com. We got a free class that my daughter Lauren and I do together, and it's got workbook that follows it up. It really helps you put this into practice. It's 4 different courses. One, if you're single man, single woman, single couple man, couple woman. And in that course, you can also sneak it. You can do it for the men and do it for the women, and then do the man's course. Just say you're a man and you'll get the man's course, because then you'll realize what men need to know. See, that's my whole thing, is that one of the most important gifts for women is to realize men don't know this stuff, because you think if he loves me, he'll do these things. We don't know to do them, just because I love you doesn't mean I can operate your computer correctly. I got to learn the language of computers. It's a whole system. And then once you learn it, it's automatic. It's mindless. It just takes time to learn. And men can only learn from a woman or another man who's teaching this. But if he doesn't take my classes, you can teach him in a certain way. And I teach you how to do that. And Lauren does that in her course, How to Get Your Me Time for Women. Me time is how to get what you need. And how do you get what you need from a man, as opposed to always thinking how to give to him, how to get him to give to you, how to get your me time. Also, we have a new class coming out soon, which is called Understanding Men, the problem that solves all problems in relationships. We spent a year working on this. My daughter, Lauren, her class, I just help her along with it. And it's beyond anything I could do on my own. So it would just help so many people. Also, if you're interested in getting some training on how to get in touch with your emotions and feelings and understanding men, we have Mars Venus coaches, and their first one is free. So you get a sense of what it's like. You go to marsvenuscoaching.com. That's not at my website, marsvenus.com. Marsvenus.com, there's blogs and so forth. And I've talked a lot today. The ideas come from beyond Mars and Venus, how women can come back to their female side and suddenly begin to fall in love again and again.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence today, Dr. John Gray. And for the ladies, I will talk to you next time. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.